So we'll be learning how to cut the dress you saw on the thumbnail. So here I have 2 yards of flower satin fabric. As you can see, this is the fabric. I'm just going to fold it into two. I'm going to cut the front and the back together. You can decide to use, most times people use 3 inches, 3 yards to 3.5 inches. For this particular one, I don't think it's going to be very big. I just want it to be a little free on me, so I'm to the end. So you can see I'm arranging my fabric to, I'm folding it into two. So I'm just going to fold it again into two, which is 4. So right now I'm done folding it, as you can see. So this is the edge. So from this point, from this part here, I'm just going to make it equal. I'm going to bring my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2 will give me 8 inches. So I'm going to mark it like this. I'm going to mark another 8 inches for the sleeve. So this remaining one, which is 2 inches, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it for the folding of the sleeve. So from here I'm going to take the full length of the dress. The full length I'm working with is 57, but I'm just going to use the full length of the fabric, which is 59 inches. So I'm just going to leave it like that, as to serve as the hemming. So right here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come down to this part here, to this under here. I'm going to measure, I'm just going to minus that 2 inches from, okay, I'm just going to, okay, let me use my hip measurement. I'll use my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to add extra 6 inches for ease. So you can see that we have 2.5 inches left. So these 2.5 inches, I'm going to connect it all to this point here. So I'll mark that 2.5 inches and connect it like this. So at this area, I'm going to come down by, my round sleeve measurement is 11, but because it's a free gown, I'm going to use my bust point will serve as this round sleeve. But remember that I'm going to use like 1 inch to hold it here, and I'm going to minus about 1 inch from here as well, which is for the slanting. So I'm going to mark it this way for the slanting, and from here I'm just going to connect it like this and mark it to this point here, that 2.5 inches, and I'm going to cut. So first I'm going to cut the shoulder line. So from the end I'm going to cut it these 2.5 inches out. So now I'm done cutting it. So what I will do right now is to bring the back neckline this way. So the back, I'm going to use 2 inches for the neck depth, and I'm going to use 3 inches for the neck width. That is for the back, and I'm going to trim it off. So right now I'm going to separate the back from the front. So this is the front that is left here. So what I'm doing is to, the neck depth of the front, I used 7 inches. So right from those points I marked 7 inches down, and it's going to be a v neckline. So I'm just going to place my tape like this, and to this 3 inches that is the neck width, I'm going to place it like this and just connect a straight line. So after connecting the straight line, the next thing I'll do is to trim it out. So I'm going to cut it out right now. So this is the neckline, as you can see. So right from here, I'm going to mark my under bust measurements. My under bust is 13 inches, so I'm going to add half inch for allowance I'll use to hold this upper part. So from here I'm going to mark 10 inches downward. How you'll be able to know that it is 10 inches that you're supposed to mark is that you are going to determine how many inches you want this point, this part here, to come up by. If you want this part to come up by 10 inches, it means you are going to cut 10 inches away from here. If it is 20 inches that you want it to come up by, you are going to cut that 20 inches away from here. So that is how I derived it. So right now I'm just going to align my fabric this way, and I'm going to mark the 13.5 inches, and from here I'm going to mark the 10 inches. So this is the 10 inches. So at the mid, I'm going to, this 10 inches, I'm going to divide it into two. I'm going to mark the midpoint. So from the midpoint, I'm going to go in by 2 inches, and I'm going to connect the line, these lines like this. So you can see how it is. So the next thing I'll do is just to cut it out. Make sure to align your fabric. If your fabric is the type that is dangling around like this, so this is how it is. So this part here, I'm going to divide, I'm going to open it out up. I'm going to open it up. So right now I'm done opening it. So this is how it is. So I'm going to take this part like this. When I'm going to sew it, this is how it's going to be like. So you can see how it is, right? So that is it. So in order for us to cover that part, we are going to cut like a kind of a flare pattern out of about, we cut 2 inches, right? It means we are going to cut something of about 5 to 6 inches round. But what we have here is not up to, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. You are going to fold your fabric like this and fold into 2 again. It will give you, it will now become 4. You will now mark from the midpoint like this and mark. Remember, you cut 2 inches away, so what you will do, you mark 3 inches, you add extra 1 inch that we use to sew it. So you mark 3 inches like this, and you are just going to mark it round, so you cut it out. That is how you are going to do it. So let's get over to the sewing part. So I'm going to bring the back piece, and I'm going to take the neck. This is the neck area. I'm going to use bias to hem it, and so after hemming it, I'm going to show you the result. So this is it. I'm done. You can see that I used a contracting color for it, for the bias. So I'm done attaching the bias to the neckline of the back. Now for the front, I'm also going to use the bias to hem the neckline. I'm going to use it to hem the neckline. So after hemming the neckline, I'll show you the next thing to do. So you can see the neck, right? I'm done sewing the neck. So what I will do is that this area here, after hemming the neckline with a bias, what I'm going to do next is that this round shape area that we have, this part here that is round, what we're going to do, I'm going to take you can decide to use a bias of course as well, but this one I'm going to use a straight strip of fabric. I'm going to bring the wrong side of the fabric this way, and just from right from under bust, from the under bust that will slit, I'm just going to place the fabric like this, and I'm going to sew it. I'm going to turn it over and sew like this. So let me show you how I'm going to do this particular one on the sewing machine. So this is the under bust that we started cutting that round nest from. So I'm going to place this straight strip of fabric like this on it from this point here. going to place it like this, and I'm going to flip it over to cover the straight strip of fabric. Hope you can see. So this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to stitch on it. So it is 1/2 inch that I used to turn it. I'm going to back stitch rather, and I'm just going to continue sewing. So I'll keep sewing till I will sew to the end. So make sure that you are not sewing on the straight strip of fabric that you are putting inside. So you can see how I'm arranging it inside. So right now I'm done stitching it, you can see. So this is the straight strip of fabric. You can see how it is right now. So I'm going to take the straight strip of fabric from both sides like this. I'm going to take it from both sides and pull it. I'm just going to pull it like this. See the reason why I said you should be so careful so that you won't sew on top that straight strip. So it will be difficult for you to drap if you do that. Don't do like me, please. So this is how it's going to be like. So this is it. This is how it's going to be like. So at this area here, I'm going to, right now that I'm done pulling it, you see this is how it is. This is the round area. I'm going to hold these two parts together like this, and I'm just going to sew it to the neckline area, and I'm going to do that with 1/2 inch. So I'm going to start from the bottom part. I'm going to start from the bottom part here. That is the area that I have that two straight strip of fabric. I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch to the neckline. So now I'm going to trim this part off. That is this this excess fabric that I have. So this is how it's looking right now. Hope you can see how it's looking. So this is how it's looking right now. You can decide to make it more tighter than this, but I just decided to leave it this way. So I'm just going to take that round shape fabric that I cut. I'm going to place it at the bottom. You can see how it is looking, right? This is how it's going to be like. So let me take that. So you're just going to place it at the bottom like this. After arranging it, you stitch on it round. So I'm going to stitch it round right now. So this is it. I'm now stitching on top of it. So make sure to secure the under fabric together with the fabric with pins before you start sewing. So this is the end result of the front piece. So this is the end result, the result of the dress. You can see the drapes are falling already. So the next thing, so this is the back piece. I'm going to take it the wrong side facing the right side facing the right side of the front, and I'm just going to attach the shoulder together. So after attaching the shoulders, I'll show you the next thing to do. So now I am done joining the both shoulders. The next thing I'll do is to fold the sleeve like this. I'm just going to fold it with half an inch inside, and that is all for the sleeve. So now I am done folding the sleeve. You can see how it is. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the wrong side together this way, place the sleeve like this, and I'm just going to stitch with 1 inch down. So now I am done sewing the both sides. I'm just going to turn it inside out for you to see how it looks like, and I'm also going to put it on the mannequin for you to see the real outcome, so you can see how it is looking. So right now I'll go over and put it on the mannequin for you to see the final result. So if you have found this video helpful, please subscribe and also turn on your notification bell to get notified each time we upload new videos like this, and also do share it so that others can learn as well. Thank you so much for watching. So you can see the dress. This is how it's actually looking. You can see that it sits perfectly on at under my bust, and this is how I really love it. So this is for the back part. So like I said, it is only 2 yards of fabric that I use, and I'm on the small size. Maybe that is the reason why it was up to it seated perfectly. So you can see perfect. They are just, it's just draping perfectly, just the way I love it. So if you have found this video helpful, please tell me at the comment section, and also subscribe to my channel. Also do me well by sharing this video for others to see it as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.